Hello everyone, I hope that you're doing amazing wherever you are in the world. My name is Boom Shikha and I welcome you to another video. In this one I want to answer a question that a viewer asked when I asked you all, give me some tips or some video ideas. I'm running out. And they asked me about, how do you tell your parents or how do you deal with fellow family and relatives when you want to live a non-traditional life? And for example, you don't want to have kids or you don't want to get married. How do you do it? How do you tell them? How do you live your life? How do you make sure that they don't interfere? Things like that. And so, this is all information that I've gathered from hindsight. So this is what I've been doing for the past 20 to 25 years, because 20 years for sure. 20 years, yeah. Because I've constantly wanted to do things a little bit differently, not that much differently. I'm not a big rebel, but my parents would tell you differently. But I just wanted to live a non-traditional life in the fact that I don't really care to have children. I don't really want to get married. I don't really care that much about relationships in general either. But more than that, I don't want to be stuck in one place for the rest of my life. I don't want to live in the same place forever. I want to try and live in different countries. I want to meet different people, do different things. I'm always trying to do different things with my time, trying different things. And so there's a lot of different ways in which, if someone looked at me, obviously more so because I am from a background that's very conservative. So I'm originally from India, and I was born in India, and we moved to Canada 23 years ago. But my parents are still, very much set in the ways of how people do it in India. Everyone over there, all the Indian girls, women, they get married, they have children, they live that life, and they seem to be happy with it. And I'm not saying that they're not happy. I believe they must be happy. They made a choice in any case, but that was not the choice for me. And I knew it would not make me happy. I knew from the bottom of my heart that if I did it to myself, I would literally die. And the same thing with the conservativeness about a traditional 9-to-5 job. I tried that. That was easier to try. There's no harm in trying it for a bit, because if you get married, I feel like it's like a lifetime thing. You have to compromise and you have to give your all. With a job, you can always leave it. So then I was like, all right, let me try the 9-to-5 thing for a bit. I tried it, did not work out. Absolutely hated it. It's just really, there's so many things I could say about that, but just every single time, every day I'd come back home and I'd like, this is the way I'm going to live for the rest of my life. I just can't do it. I would cry. And so I realized that I'm not going to do that. And what happened was that I've always kind of been a little bit of a rebel. Even when I was 16 years old, I'd constantly be arguing with my parents because I wanted to do this or that when they didn't want me to do it that way. I'd stay out all night, hanging out with friends because I wanted to hang out with friends. And, they're like, why can't you just be at home? Why can't you just come back home at a reasonable time and sleep? And other things as well. There was a lot of constant friction between me and my father and my mother. But, in my 20s, I finally realized that, if I'm going to live a life, I have to live it like the way I want to. Otherwise, the only person who's going to have regrets is going to be me, and no one else is going to care. Like, my parents can say what they want about, oh, you should live a life this way and that way, blah, blah, blah. But they're not the ones living my life, and I'm the one who's going to be dealing with regrets. They're just going to be like, fine and dandy. They're going to be like, oh, well, it didn't work out, boo-hoo. It's too bad, But it doesn't matter to them. It's not paramount to them as much as it is to me. And so I'm the one making the choice. I have to be the one who has to figure out, okay, what am I going to do? How am I going to live my life? The main thing I will tell you if you do want to follow this path is to be absolutely certain in your heart that this is how you want to live it. Even if you're not certain, be absolutely certain, because any kind of doubt, any kind of, little bit, even a smidgen of a doubt will come across in your conversations with other people, and they will pick at it. They will nitpick and they'll pick at it and they'll probe at it and they'll try to make you feel or make you realize, oh, you're on the wrong path. And if you already have this kind of doubt in your inside of you, you're going to be like, oh shit, I'm on the wrong path. They're right. Oh my God, what am I doing with my life? And then you're going to backtrack and you're going to try different things, and then you're going to feel doubt, and then you're going to be like, but I don't want to live that way, but I do want to live that. It's going to create a lot of hassle, a lot of contraction inside of you, and also dichotomy. It's going to like tear you apart on the inside. And that's one thing that I definitely want to tell you, is that just be sure, absolutely sure. It doesn't necessarily mean that you are absolutely sure this is the right path for you for the rest of your life, but be sure at this moment in time, you've made a decision, this is how you want to live your life. Cool, that's it. Don't worry about it. It might work out, it might not work out, but for the moment, in order to deal with your family and relatives, make sure that you realize that this is the path for you and be certain about it, especially in conversations with them. Just absolutely certain. Because as I said, the minute you show a little bit of doubt, they're gonna like annihilate you, right? And so every single time, and I still have conversations with my family. I mean, there's still relatives will come to me and say, hey, so like when are you getting married? And I'm thinking to myself, I thought we were over this. I thought we already figured out that this is not gonna happen. I thought it's done. Like, why are you still bringing it up? I mean, have you lost your mind? Obviously not. Maybe I'll be like 80 and they'll still be coming up and saying, hey, so when are you getting married? Gosh. In any case, so like they still come to me, but now I'm absolutely certain it's not the path for me. I'm absolutely 100% certain, 110% certain, right? 500% certain. And so I can look them in the eye without a doubt and say it's not happening, and there's nothing to worry about. There's no conversation there. There's no problem. There's no cringing. There's no issue, because I don't have an issue within myself, right? And so because I don't have an issue within myself, they can't have an issue with me. They can tell me, they can ask me, but then I can just be very casual and say it back to them, well, I'm not getting married. I don't know what you're thinking, right? It's so hilarious to me that I still have these conversations, because like, what do you think is going to happen all of a sudden? I'm going to wake up one day and be like, oh, right, okay. Well, that could happen. But then if it's going to happen, it's not going to happen because some relative told me, hey, you should get married. It's not going to happen that way. The more they say that to me, the more I don't want to do it. Because I'm an INFJ and you guys know how it is. You all know how it is. And so that's one of the things I highly recommend, is like, be absolutely certain in the conversations that you have with them. Don't show any doubt. You might have doubts within yourself, of course, and that's fine, but just make sure that you realize that this is a temporary thing. You can always change it, right? You can always eventually be like, hey, now I want to get married. All right, cool, let's do it. Or, hey, now I want to have kids. You can adopt, there's lots of different avenues there, right? So there's never a point where you can say, okay, that's it, I can't ever do this again. Like maybe with space travel, or I don't know, becoming an astronaut, or becoming a basketball player, yeah, you have limitations. But most things that people care about, like common people care about, normal people, you can always do them, even in your 80s. Like you could still get to your 80s and be like, oh, I really want to get married now, and then get married. Or, oh, I really just want to have a child, and then, adopt or foster or do all that. It's really possible. So there's no need to worry about that. In this moment in time, you don't want to do this. And so you're absolutely certain in this moment in time, you don't want to do it, and go forth with that certainty when you have conversations with relatives and family members. Because now when people have conversations with me, they know. Like, I'm absolutely certain. I have no doubt in my mind. I look at them straight in the eye and say, hey, not happening, buddy. And so, a lot of times they'll be like joking about it and things like that. But, they can joke about it as much as they want. It has nothing to do with them. This is my decision. I've made it. It's done. Nothing's going to change. They can't do anything about it. I can't do anything about it. That's it. That's just so certain in my mind. Another thing I do want to say is that if you don't want to have these conversations with them, I know that this is something that you might have a hard time with, but put a strict boundary around it. When I was younger, I did not want to have these conversations, and I constantly say, I'm sorry, but I don't want to have this conversation. I've already told you my opinion on the matter. I already told you what I'm going to do, and so I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to talk about it. I've already told you. There's no need talking about it. And so constantly, almost every week, I would have to put a boundary up saying, nope, we're not having this conversation. I've already told you what's going to happen. I'm not getting married. I'm not having children. I'm not having this conversation. Not having this conversation. Over and over and over and over and over again, you have to put that boundary back. And it might seem a little bit rude, but it's not rude. And they might come at you and say, oh my God, you're so rude. You're a terrible child, blah, blah. Yes, let them do that. It's all emotional blackmail techniques. It's all guilt-tripping techniques. It's all things that are used to make you feel, oh my God, am I a bad child? Oh my God. It's fine. Be a bad child. No one died from being a bad child, and no parent died from having bad children, right? It's fine. And so get used to that as well. Get used to being called names. Get used to being put down because of the choices you've made. Get used to being compared to other people because of the choices you made. That's totally fine. Has nothing to do with you. That's their thing, right? It has nothing to do with you. So nothing to worry about. Let them do that. But cut them off whenever they start bringing things up that you're not interested in talking about. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear over and over again that I'm a bad child or this and that. It's none of my business, right? It's not my thing. It's your thing. You're the one who thinks that way. I am not, or maybe I am. It doesn't matter. I've made a choice, and that choice is going to stand no matter what. And so that strength has to come from within you. You have to become stronger if you want to live a non-traditional life. It's just something that has to happen. Otherwise, very soon you're going to falter, and then you're going to be like, well, maybe I should just go back to a traditional life because it's just too hard. And it is going to be hard. I'm not going to lie to you. It's not going to be easy. It's going to be hard. Everyone's going to be pushing at you from every direction, society, family members, friends, even my friends would come to me and say, why don't you get married? And I'm like, oh yeah, aren't you my friend? I mean, come on. And so, from every direction, there's going to be forces telling you, hey, go back to a traditional life. So you have to be strong. Yeah, that's just a given. And the moments where you're not feeling strong, you have to go back to journaling or do some kind of self-care, do something for yourself, and then come back out again stronger, because it's just the way to do it. There's no way around it. You're going to feel alone. You're going to be lonely. It's a lonely path. And that's just the way it is. Yeah. I hope this helped. These are a few things that I did and have done. If you want more on this, then I'm more than happy to share. But I really just want to do a little bit of a video on, how you can get over this nonsense, because you're going to be fighting back a lot of nonsense when you're trying to live a non-traditional life. It's just the way it is, unfortunately. I don't know what else to tell you. I hope this is helpful. If you have questions, let me know. If you want me to go further on a certain point or anything like that, let me know as well. Again, thank you to the person who asked the question, and I'm really grateful to all of you. Thank you so much for being on my channel, and I shall see you the next time around. Bye for now.